The Bengals will make the playoffs, continuing our 2025 NFL team previews. We feel like we can say that with authority because if you look at what the Bengals did, this game one loss was just crushing, losing 16-10, hosting the New England Patriots. And then the few games after that, they lost to the Ravens in overtime after building a big lead, lost to the Chiefs by 1 on a very questionable call. So let's take a look at their schedule, also their results from last year. If you see that early on, they lost 3 straight, really got off to a slow start. Again, this play was crushing, busting those survivor pools with that loss against New England. But then if we look at what they did at the end of the season, they won 5 straight. We're really probably one of the hottest teams in the NFL, but missed the playoffs by 1. We take a look at their position rankings. We think this is one of the best offenses in the league, if not the best, passing offense with Joe Burrow. And then those newly re-signed receivers, Chase and Higgins, they create matchup nightmares. They're 2 number 1 receivers. So there's not a question of the Bengals being able to score points. We also love what they can do in the postseason. They're one of the few teams that have beaten the Chiefs and the Bills in recent years. I think if they get into the tournament, they could be very dangerous. But their weakness here is defense. Best defensive player, Trey Hendrickson, holding out, looking for a new deal. Not sure what the status is there. And then the secondary struggled last year. We think they're going to get a little bit better, a little young, but we think that is a question of concern. However, look at their schedule compared to their AFC North rival, the Ravens. Much easier schedule. They only have 8 games versus playoff teams as opposed to the Ravens. They've got a very tough start. And then if you look at the rest of the schedule, it should be fairly easy, especially late. You end with Miami, Arizona, and Cleveland. Not really dominant teams. So we think if the Bengals have just some degree of luck and their defense holds up, we think they can easily make the playoffs. We see them finishing behind the Ravens, but we think they do have the potential to win that division. Like we said, see them as finishing at 10-7, second in the North. The defense is definitely a question, but with that offense, very dangerous. Then again, once they get into the playoff tournament, look out, they could go all the way potentially with Burrow and that team.
That's all for this time. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to sharing our future videos with you.